Hey, thanks for joining us. This is Calling All Cupids, where you play matchmaker. We all have those friends and relatives who have been on and off the dating apps with no luck. We're Sue and Tamar, and we're trying something different. We're not matchmakers, although Tamar did set me up with my husband.
Every episode, we present someone looking for love, a love seeker. We chat with them and those close to them. This is where you come in. You're our Cupids. If you have someone you know who is a catch and you think would be a good fit for our love seeker, reach out and let's see if we can make a love connection.
Hey, Tamar, how are you?
Good. How are you, Sue?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good recovering from lots of Thanksgiving guests and activity.
Yeah, same.
I'm really excited to talk about our guest today, your friend, Abby, who
Yeah.
I have not met before. So I know you met her in Asheville, but that's about all I know. Can you tell me like how you know her and more about her?
Yes. So Abby is one of the first people I met in Asheville outside of my neighborhood. We were at a comedy show at the Jewish Community Center, and the seating was like big tables of 10. And I could see this woman walking around looking for her friends, trying to find a place to sit. And just we made eye contact, and I kind of motioned for her and said, if you want to sit with us, you're welcome. And we started chatting. Turns out we both moved to Israel when we were 10 years old. So we had that in common and we instantly kind of clicked over that. She is fantastic. She's really warm, really open hearted, kind.
Wow, that 10 years old. So is that fourth or fifth grade? That was fifth grade for me.
I started fifth grade in Israel.
That must have been tough as a kid to get.
It was actually great. I grew up in New Jersey as a poor kid among rich kids. My mom was a single mom, and I went to Jewish day school on scholarship. So a lot of my friends, were kids who were going to private school. I was there, on scholarship, did not have a lot of money. And then my mom was Israeli after my parents got divorced, few years later, she wanted to move back to Israel. So we lived in a small community in the desert in Israel. And then I was a poor kid among poor kids, which
It's
is
got to be
much better.
Yeah.
It's fine. Being a poor kid among poor kids is totally fine. And we didn't have a telephone. We didn't have a car. My mom had to explain to me that we were not going to have a bathtub. I could not fathom what she meant. Like, I had never seen a walk-in shower. We didn't even
Oh,
have a walk-in shower. We just had a little room with a shower head and a sloping floor. But I could not understand what she was talking about when
wow.
when she.
So you and Abby have a lot in common then because didn't you both then return to the States like around this?
Yeah, as young adults, after we both served in the army, we each served in the army, and then I came back and lived with my dad for a year and then went to college in the US, and she came back. I think she had met an American guy and came back to the US to be with him after serving in the army. Okay, let's talk about Abby. Abby is 64, and I think we learn a lot about her from her interview. She does live in Asheville. She is willing to relocate for the right person. So the sky's the limit here. Should we dive in and hear the
I
interview with Abby?
I think Abby speaks for herself and it's pretty clear what she's looking for. Let's let them take a listen. And yeah, I'm excited
Okay,
to see who we can find for her.
sounds good. Hey, Abby.
Hi, Tamar.
Hi, Abby. This is Sue. It's really nice to meet you.
You too.
So thanks for being here with us. We want to get to know you a little better and find out who you're looking for. So why don't we just start? Briefly tell us a little bit about yourself, your age, where you live, what you do, etc.
I am 64. I had my when I'm 64 birthday party last year. I'm going to have my Medicare birthday on. Everybody's going to have to fill out forms in order to get into the party. And so I currently live in Asheville, North Carolina. I was born in LA, I lived in Berkeley, and then I ended up moving with my family, of course, to at a young age to Israel. So I grew up in Israel. And then I left. I married an American and came back to the States, and I lived in New York and New Jersey, and ended up actually then crossing the country in our little brown Saab with our cat in the back. And we had both gotten into graduate school at Berkeley and Stanford, respectively. So I was back in Berkeley. And then we ended up back in LA. And then I went to Germany and lived there for 6 years. And then I ended up in Asheville. So I've been around.
How long have you been divorced?
Well, that's a hard question. I was divorced in 2001, but I later went on to have two other long-term relationships.
Okay.
So I had another 12-year relationship, and then I had a 6.5-year relationship, and that ended 4 years ago.
Okay.
That was the German guy.
Okay. And are you in Asheville long term?
I don't know. I'm kind of like yesterday I wrote in my journal, I think I'm gonna like let the wind take me wherever it takes me. So I don't feel like I necessarily need to be in one place permanently. So I feel kind of free to go wherever I want to
Okay.
go.
So in terms of looking for someone, what's the geographic boundary? Is it the whole country? Is it the whole world? What are we looking at?
Oh, good question. I don't think I want to live in the Midwest, but you may not want to record that. You may not. Um,
It's okay.
but you know, yeah, I mean, I look at the East Coast and the West Coast, and those are definitely two places I'd love to live. But if you're Canadian, yay, I'll marry you.
Okay.
If you're British, even better. So
Okay.
yes, I'm absolutely happy to move.
What are you looking for?
Well, my best friend used to say, I just want to do life with somebody. That's what I'd like to, I've done it before. I've been in, three long-term relationships that were all very different in many ways, but the feeling of doing life, of, just getting up in the morning and sharing throughout the day. I would like, what would I like? I would like to feel like the man I'm with really sees me as a partner and best friend, somebody with whom he can share really everything. I know that might scare some people. Some people that may not be how they see relationship.
So,
But
like deep intimacy?
yeah, I mean, I'm like a real Brene Brown, that like I absolutely believe in communication as, the one thing that will keep a relationship going or give you the understanding that the relationship shouldn't be continuing.
Yeah.
But yes, and so my communication is direct, always seeking to understand. I have insatiable curiosity about the person in front of me, and I would like them to feel the same about me.
What are some qualities that you like in a person, like some sense of humor, those sorts of things? What's
Yeah.
most important to you?
So I always say that humor is the new sexy, especially in our stage of life.
Absolutely.
And I would love to plots, I would love to explode in laughter. That's what I would love for my partner to do that. It is extremely rare. Humor is way up there. And I wish I could say that I don't care about looks, but I am. So if you know anything about the Enneagram, I'm a type 4 who just I need to be surrounded by beauty. And I need my eyes to be able to drink in a certain kind of beauty. I do believe that as I have aged, my understanding and vision of beauty has also expanded.
So what is attractive to you? What's your type?
I honestly don't even know anymore. I mean, my type has always been lean. I don't want to sound predictable, but 5'8", 5'9" is great. 5'10" is fine too. 5'11" is starting to be a little too tall for me.
Okay. That's not that predictable. It was
That's true. That's true. But again, as I said, it's interesting in these 4 years that I've been alone and kind of having these very just sad dates with people. I've noticed, like, what am I, what's my bar? You know, how much can I lower the bar? So I hope you don't put that in the, but
Oh, that's going in.
okay.
Are these mostly through apps, your dates right now?
Yeah, because it was just, I was not meeting anybody in
Right.
Asheville when I would go out in person. I have to tell you that curiously enough, I just made a decision 3 days ago. I said Facebook dating, boop, and it's gone. So everything is gone. And I've decided to do that because I don't want to be distracted anymore by these constant little, butterfly jitters of hope and, oh, maybe this, maybe that. Oh, I don't want that. I am done with that. I want to be really, really just here in the place that I live in, whether or not I meet somebody or not. I want to be in a place where it's good for me to go anywhere I want, go by myself, and I've been discovering in the past, this is very recent, by the way, and this whole weekend has been amazing. I went to a Beatles sing along by myself and I met, people. And I mean, I just feel like it's a major shift that I'm going through right now.
So back to looks, more clean cut, more hippie.
Hippie for sure. I mean, if you have long hair, yeah, I'll go weak at the knees.
Okay.
And by the way, if you're a long hair wannabe, but you're bald, that's good too.
Okay.
You like the bald long too?
I don't like it if they have bald hair and then they're,
And then a ponytail.
Age.
I would say between 60 and 70. It's
Okay.
really
Okay.
hard to go lower than 60. And I mean, unless a person is 58 and is interested in an almost 65-year-old, I mean, I'm open to it.
Mm-hmm.
That hasn't been my experience. So I don't think anything beyond 70, 71 would work for me, not just physically, but also culturally. Because somehow my thinking is a much youthful, much more younger generation type of thinking. So it's almost like there's like a generation gap between me and a lot of men I've met who are in their early 70s.
What about religion and spirituality?
The last two men I've been with have not been Jewish, and both of them at some point started to show real interest in Judaism. So, and that's just because that is what I do. I consider myself to be an atheist, but clearly I don't understand it. I have some kind of a spiritual bent that also radiates out into my profession as I guess, musician of Jewish music, my guitar and my singing. And it's like a lot of times we don't think of ourselves some way, but we keep getting mirrored back that we are a certain way or that people see us in a certain way. And that's what I get mirrored back to me always, constantly, whenever I do this, that something deep has been touched in somebody's soul, a learning, a teaching has gone deep. So I'm I'm learning to I'm learning to allow those clothes to fit more comfortably on me right now, and saying that even though I wouldn't say I believe in God per se, somehow I have this ability to connect with spirit, whatever that is, some kind of divine source. And so yes,
Okay.
I would like that person to have had experiences like that, or to be eager for them, to not be skeptical, to say, to not say something like, "Oh, I don't believe in reincarnation. That's all." No, like, why not? Why not adapt a narrative of that will be useful and uplifting for you?
Okay.
Can you talk more about your career and your singing and music?
Yeah, I fell into it, as basically my whole life has been like that. I've never had this drive to, like, I gotta be this professional, whatever. And I kind of fell into it, as, I taught religious school, and Hebrew school, and then I was told, "Hey, you're really great with the guitar. You should apply for a job as a religious school music teacher." And I did that, and then it just snowballed over the years. And at some point, I got a job at Temple Israel of Hollywood as their alternative cantor for the high holidays, and that went on for 10 years. And this would have continued to have been a burgeoning career, except that I moved to Germany, and then it all just like stopped. So the 4 years that I've been in Asheville, I've been kind of, seeing where I fit in. And yes, and so I've done cantoring and song leading and bar and bat mitzvah training and leading services for older people and younger people. And yeah, and I love it. And I do the kind of services that I've led in the past couple of weeks over the high holidays has been much more things like, engaging in conversations and journaling and walking meditations, and then a lot of song, always with a lot of song. I bring in a lot of Hebrew song, obviously, because I'm fluent in Hebrew, so I like that.
Okay. What are some deal breakers for you?
Smoking cigarettes, uh,
Okay.
meaning smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
That's definitely a deal breaker. Somebody who is very much addicted to taking mind altering substances on a daily basis, or a regular basis, as opposed to taking them in ritual and in a desire for a deeper knowing. Somebody who is, scoffing and skeptical of spirituality. Somebody who hasn't really done conscious self growth work, and who's not really interested in it. That is just, I'll have nothing to talk about with them.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah.
What about sexuality?
What about sexuality?
Well, is it important to you?
Important.
Okay.
And
And
and I'm talking about the whole spectrum of it. That is, sexuality is a very broad range of what that means. But I would say that I have been in communities which we would call sex positive, but from my point of view, I'm more interested in touch positive. So, really, that is definitely up there in my love languages.
what does that mean, touch positive?
A sense of re being relaxed around touch, not being inhibited in any way. Also, and not being inhibited around sexuality, in that almost all of us have grown up with this idea of sexuality as being somehow sinful or perverted or something you don't talk about, or you know and it's like, get over it. you know I would like you to have done that work, so that this is we're at a place of tolerance and inclusiveness and permission and honesty and vulnerability and experimentation and exploration. That
Okay.
it's just an infinite playground.
What about monogamy?
So I was not monogamous in my second and third relationships, and it really had a lot of pitfalls for me. So as long as I was having fun, everything was fine. But the minute they had fun, you
Yeah.
know, that was like really, really hard for me. And I realized, oh, well, this doesn't make any sense. It's a real double standard here, and I'm kind of a fraud. And so it's the kind of thing where they say that that kind of a relationship is you either, you're walking through the fire. And if you get through the fire, you'll be okay. So I I haven't the faintest idea what it would be like for me, because it's been 4 years, and more than that really, because maybe six, because we weren't really being polyamorous in my last relationship in the last few years. So I can't say. What I will say for sure, I'll tell you okay, so here's what I imagine. I kind of feel like I'm good with monogamy at this point.
Okay.
And I really love being polysensual and poly permission. So it's okay for both of us to flirt with and be, a little bit more open and uninhibited with people we like, and to be in communities where that is welcomed and permissible. That's what I
Okay.
like. Yeah.
Okay. That if I when I think about you and you're my friend, we've talked a lot about this. My vision for you is more along of what you just said. Like I would like to see you in a monogamous relationship where you're the primary
Yeah.
because you're not the secondary,
Right.
and also still maybe occasionally, I don't know if you would be into like a threesome or going to a sex workshop where there are other people there, or experimenting sexually, but where you are in the primary relationship with someone, and if you give permission, okay, maybe that's a discussion to be had, and vice
Right.
versa.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. I feel that I'm in a place where I just don't feel like wondering anymore if I'm still the primary, or if I'm going to continue to be the primary.
Yeah.
I would, and that would involve a man who's really very secure in himself and pretty confident that he knows that I'm the one he'd like, who's his best friend.
Maybe that he's done this type of relationship before too, that this would not be a new thing for him. Might be
Yeah.
easier. Tell us a little bit about like what kinds of things you like to do.
Okay. I really do love dancing. And although it's not as easy anymore, it's really weird. It's like over the last few years, it's like, oh my God, I cannot be wild anymore. And I can't, it's just like my knees at the end of, it's like, nope, I don't do any wild dancing, but I love to move. Yeah, I love walking, in beautiful places. I walk my cat every morning. This is really, people have asked me about spiritual practices, and this has become a real spiritual practice to walk with my cat every morning.
Does your cat walk on a leash?
No, no. So, and it's really something, and he's becoming more and more brave. So, and I love music. I love singing with other people and in harmony. I love playing my guitar with other people. It's just,
It's the best.
I have to say, it's orgasmic. I mean, it's like I always imagine, like when I'm in, with playing with people, it's kind of like an orgy.
Hmm.
I just love it. It really, really uplifts me. I love being in deep conversation. I love being with people in a community where, we're discussing a particular theme and going very deep. I love learning something new about myself every day.
Okay, a few lighter short questions. Celebrity crush?
I'm sorry that I'm being so conventional, but I have to say it's got to be Paul Rudd.
Oh,
Paul Rudd. Okay, I
Yeah.
never would have
What?
pegged
can't,
you.
can't argue
Really?
that.
Active vacation or relaxing
Active
vacation?
for sure.
Active. Morning person or night owl?
I'm like a mid-morning to
Mid-morning to early
early
afternoon.
evening. Yes, I'd say 11 to like 7 are my, when I'm best, but you could get me up early and keep me up later, depending on
Okay.
the activity. Yeah.
Anything else?
I want the guy to love to play music. If the guy was love to sing and play guitar or play something else, oh, that would be amazing to be able to sing with somebody. And somebody who would actually maybe even love to do kind of workshops with me, who would love to engage people in 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 forms of inquiry. That would be amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's manifest it.
Okay.
All right.
Let's womanifest it.
Let's womanifest it. Okay. Sounds good. All right. Thank you, Abby.
Okay.
Hey, nice
I
meeting
hope
you,
you got good
Abby.
material.
Yeah, we'll talk soon. We heard what Abby had to say. Now let's hear from her friend Lori. Hi, Lori. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Tamar. Good to be here.
So, Abby said that you are her good friend, and she asked that you share with us a little bit about the kind of person that you think would be a good fit for her. So maybe tell us a little bit about Abby and also the kind of guy that would be a good match in your eyes.
Okay. Well, Abby's a wonderful person. She's an extraordinary person. If you lived in Israel, you might meet more women similar to her because why she may not agree with me. I think she's very Israeli. I used to live there, and Israeli women and people in general are they're strong, they're out front, they're funny. There's a lot of vitality there and brains, and she's got all of those things in spades. So she's a highly energetic, smart, funny lady. And I think she was an officer even in the IDF at one point, because even though she's a small woman, short and slender, she packs power in her
She really
personality,
does.
right?
Right.
Yeah. So the kind of guy, and she has an Orthodox background. Her parents were Orthodox. She grew up in that community, but she's a tremendously free-spirited rebel. So she left that community, and boy, did she leave it. So the kind of person who would be a good partner for her would have to understand Judaism, being a Jew, and it would be good if they had been to Israel too,
Yeah.
because I think there's a cultural identity there that's very, very important. It's important to me too, which is one of the reasons I love her so much, because she and I share so much interest and knowledge. She's very knowledgeable, cultural knowledge, and she's also a great musician. So she translates her cultural knowledge into music, and she's a kind of creative artist type. So a guy who would be great for her would be able to appreciate and share many of those qualities.
Yeah. I definitely see a more creative type of man and a seeker.
Right. Yeah. Right. Because she's always seeking, always questioning, and
Yeah. You know, she and I
someone
bonded over the fact that we both moved to Israel when we were 10 years old.
that's that's
It
very
that was
interesting.
our first connection. You know, it's strange. It's strange to have the American, like I agree with you that she's very Israeli, but having grown up in Israel from the time I'm 10, she definitely has a mix of both, I think. Um,
Absolutely right. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. She's got that American freedom and or seeking freedom, and she's also very enterprising and kind of business minded in a funny way for a creative wild soul.
Yeah.
Right, there's something very
Yeah.
down to earth, very like even shrewd. She understands numbers and money, and it's not like she's come like flaky. She's
Right.
just funny combination of things, an
Right.
unusual combination of things.
Yeah. So if we could manifest the perfect man for her, what does he look like? What does he do? What are his attributes?
Well, let's see. She's into physical. She's very physical, and she's into beauty. So, you know, I think it would be good for him to be hot. Look, she's hot.
And what do you think is hot according to her?
Well, someone who really cares about their body. She really cares about her body, and someone who's sexy, looks good, is sexy, handsome, and
What about professions, income? Let's get into the nitty-gritty. We're dreaming big here. Let's dream.
oh well, one wants what the best for one's friends. So of course, I would like, and I'm sure she would like, someone who was accomplished, responsible, and smart, who did whatever their work was successfully. Someone who it could be anybody really in any field, but I mean, she comes from her father was a well-known academic. They were in Berkeley for a while. He was at Cal. And so I think someone impressive
Yeah.
would be good. Someone with sechel.
Yeah. And for our listeners, sechel means brains in
Yeah,
Hebrew. Yeah.
yeah, not a slouch. Someone with a lot of energy, because she's got a lot of energy. You have to have a lot of energy to be with her. She has a lot to say. I mean, she's very thoughtful. She listens. Someone who wants to be with a woman who has a lot to say and thinks about everything and has opinions about everything.
Okay. Anything else that we should be thinking about?
Let's see. So good looking, sexy, free thinking, very loving, because she's very loving.
Yeah. And affectionate, I think physically
Very
affectionate.
yes. Oh,
She
definitely.
loves touch.
Yes, she does. And a seeker. Yeah.
Yeah.
With loads of vitality and joie de vivre.
Yeah. I hear you. Okay.
All
Great.
right.
Thank you so much.
Nice to talk to you, Tamar.
You too. So that was Abby's friend Lori. Sue, do you want to just give us a brief summary?
Yeah, so we are looking for a special guy for Abby. As you heard her friend Lori say, she wants somebody truly special because, Abby is pretty spectacular. He should be handsome. He should be spiritual. He should be active. He should be fit. He should be a musician. He should be a seeker, kind of a hippie. Long hair would be great. Abby is in Asheville currently, but open to meeting somebody pretty much anywhere and seeing where it might go. So think of your people in your life that you know and who might be a good fit for Abby, and go to our website at callingallcupids.com. You can see her pictures there, and as well as seeing our other love seekers in case, anyone else catches your interest. But yeah, let's find Abby someone really special.
Sounds good.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. If you or someone you know is looking for love, reach out. Maybe you'll be the one to shoot that Cupid's arrow. We present new love seekers every episode. So subscribe to our podcast, Calling All Cupids, and help us grow the love by leaving a review.
Our website is called callingallcupids.com. You can also connect with us on social media. Check us out and help us spread the love.